So card number 13. When you're creating your card, choose whichever design you want. You've probably looked at the photographs. Take a look at the blue image. It'll give you an idea of what pieces you want to cut. But do bear in mind that some of these will have dropouts that you're not going to need, or if it's decoration, you may need to add that in and cut more than once. This card is really interesting. When you first take a look at it, it looks incredibly simple, but that is the card itself. And when I fold down all of these panels and I fold this one up, there's nothing that's going to support this and actually stop it from falling over until you take a look at the clever mechanism that's on the back. And what we do is we slide our card in between these two little circles, and that will then create a very sturdy easel. It's a clever mechanism for keeping your cards upright. It also means that your card doesn't collapse, and it allows us to do some very, very interesting things on the front. So the first thing you'll need to do is to do all your mats and layers and put these all together. I'm going to pass those outside to just get a little bit of help. Then I'm going to come on to the main part of the card. So this is the card body, and in fact this is the very front piece. So that's the panel that needs to go at the front. The reason that this has been cut in two pieces is because we need to be able to cut out of A4 cardstock. Not everybody has got access to 12 by 12 or A3. So once you've cut the back of the card, you've got a score line, and then you've got this little tab, and that tab is the piece that we need to glue. So putting some adhesive on here, red liner tape or wet glue, whichever is your preference, it does need to be a strong bond. And then the next thing that you'll do is you'll take this front panel and position it on top. And you'll find that once it's lined up on your score line, which is what I've got here, you've probably got a little piece of it overlapping, but that is absolutely okay. That's going to be right. Now, if I actually just line this up and I do it like this, it isn't going to hold its position. It is going to fall down. So that's where the mechanism at the back is going to come in place. But to put the mechanism together, we're going to need to do a little bit of work. So you're going to take a black and a white square, and these are going to get stuck so that it is just about a quarter of the circle that has got adhesive on. So there's the quarter that I'm going to be using, and that is going to sit in the middle of my circle. That gives me the dimension that I need. Now let's start to build our card front. So the first thing that you're going to do is take the main body of the card, and your adhesive is just going to go in that bottom panel, because this is going to sit on front like this. So once the front's lined up, we're ready to do our mats and layers. I've already done some of the assembly here to save us time so that you're watching the elements of the video that are the most important. Now we've got that panel in place, the next one to go on the front is actually going to have some foam on it. So think about the position of this. It could go to the top, so you could put ribbon around the outside edge. I could take it over to one side because you might want to stamp down here. But for the purpose of this design, we're going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to take my tape, and this is a great little trick for you. Take it up, down in one line. Hold your finger over the corner so that you go round the corner and just pivot the card as you're working. This not only saves time, but gives you a really good bond. And the best thing is this, that has come off in one piece. So ready to now pop that in position and to finish off our design. When I try and stand it up, the one problem I'm going to have is that this is just going to fall down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little circle, and I'm going to place that in position, and it's going to slide into the back. That's the most important thing. So let's just glue this down. It needs adhesive all the way around the outside edge, and it's going to sit at the top of the panel, making sure that the opening is to the bottom. Once we've got that in position, I can slide the back of the card into there and then stand that up. And you'll see how that is holding it all together. It's a very clever way of you creating the design. We've got another little disc that could be something that you could put your sentiment on. But let's take a look at both of these together, because again, just by changing the colours, just by looking at the dimension, just by clever design, we can create something really exciting.